Hello everybody, this is Nemesis. Welcome to my maiden video. Today I want to talk to you about the paradox of government and its inability to provide or reduce service offerings when its income goes bad. In all reality, comparatively, government is really just a business. Has assets, expenses, employees, provides a service like a service industry, multiple services actually. The greatest and most valuable supposedly protection, safety, protection of your rights. Those are disputable, arguable at many different levels. We're not going to get into that today. The issue or the paradox with government is when things are really going well, businesses are doing well, houses are selling, people are employed, the government doesn't put back for a rainy day. At a local, state, or federal level, they historically spend more and more on schools, road and utility infrastructure, being sewer and water. The employees that accompany that, you certainly, or they believe that you certainly can't subcontract a large percentage of that out. So when you're flush with cash, the states and federal and local governments are spending all of the excess on infrastructure and really the creation of programs and jobs that are, in my personal opinion, many of them unnecessary, but many of them absolutely necessary. Then the economy takes a downturn and people lose their jobs, businesses start to close, revenue is down. The one thing that government has no ability to do is, and I don't know if it's a lack of intelligence or what, I know that there's the demand on the services for government increases as economies decline. You have more people out of work, the needs for social services, police officers, emergency services, medical, the list goes on and on. All of those services needs and requirements increase, so you can't cut there. Actually, you are increasing your expense costs. And that's the paradox of government. The problem is they haven't put, at a time when revenue is going well, they're not in a position to put money back, or they are if they would cut some of the unnecessary programs, but they don't. So when the economy goes down in income or revenue as a result of lost taxes declines, the demand is actually increasing for the services that they previously were not required to en masse provide, so they can't really reduce their budgets. Even the infrastructure, theoretically you could say that businesses fail every day, and that's true. Businesses do fail every day, but in a down economy, many businesses fail, and we've all seen it, empty building after empty building. The problem is you can't clear an entire street. If when the economy is doing well, we build infrastructure, water, sewer, gas systems, electrical, communications, wireless, to feed the entire influx of population and businesses. As they fail, they don't fail equally. You may have a street where 30% fail. Well, you still have the infrastructure required to feed the entire street, and that infrastructure is going to fail proportionately. As the weather declines in the winter, you're going to have water main breaks, sewer breaks, you'll have cut cables as a result of of a million different issues that require repair. You'll have just everything you can possibly imagine. So you can't reduce your infrastructure labor. Even though your revenue as a result of paying subscribers or customers has declined, the length of your infrastructure, not necessarily the service connections, but the length of the mainline or backbone pipeline stays the same. So you can't reduce there. And with policing, obviously, crime goes up, domestic violence increases, theft, robbery, drug abuse, all of those things, violent crimes, rape, armed robberies, it all increases. That increases the demand on our policing units as well as on our prison systems. They become flooded, which creates an additional tax burden. All of these are things that the general public typically doesn't consider or understand. Who do you turn to at a local level? You turn to the federal government. It's a system that's broken, absolutely. Can it be fixed? I don't know if we have time, but I can tell you that there's a lot of programs that can be done away with, and people will argue that creates greater levels of unemployment. Not necessarily. You can redirect those funds elsewhere. But don't ever forget this one thing. The paradox of business is the paradox of government. Your needs for cash are greatest when the revenue's down. It's funny. The only difference between business and government is business can reduce its expenses, and almost immediately does, relieving labor, unnecessary travel, selling off assets that it may have been holding for future growth possibilities. I mean, there's a million reasons, but government never releases. It just continues to grow and grow and grow. And as a result of that, my children and yours, and myself included, are on top of the debt that we've incurred personally. Our government, which borrows in our name, has taken a loan out on our Social Security cards and birth certificates and continues to take that loan out to keep the economy going. I mean, I have a small child who is $123,000 in debt. That number probably off, but she's not even 5 yet. I find that heartbreaking, absolutely heartbreaking. And if you don't, send me your Social Security card and let me take a loan out in your name, and see then if you find it heartbreaking. That's the reality. We all have loans taken out in our names. The government functions not only by the consent of the people, with our money. Don't ever forget that it's our money, not theirs.